Hello one and all, this is Acularius. We are going to play episode 16 of the Assyrian Mongoose campaign. This is a Came into Cosmos mod of the Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword game. If you want to play the mod yourself, be sure to check the forum link in the doobly-doo down below. Let's get going. Start. So I've sent an axeman over to protect that copper. I also want to get a horseman around that area because they keep sending in ambushers. And, you know, I want to back up my own ambushers. And horsemen are really good at killing them. Or at least I've always found them quite good. And pretty solid border defense because I move quickly. And I usually put them in demanding areas in the border with England.
Coincidence is the word we use when we can't see the levers and pulleys.
Is a demanding area. So this improves our mining camp as well. Our workers work faster. And as I was saying, this is fantastic. And increases our build speed. And you can never go wrong with increasing your build speed. If someone says otherwise, they are a fool. That's also vital if you want to build tall or if you want to be expansionist and you need to spend less time building and more time building an army. So that will get your buildings that you need up quicker, but I tend to favor building tall. Definitely in the early game where you have room to expand without warfare. Like, specifically, I don't need to go to war. Unless there's a resource that I desperately require. Like, if this copper was taken, I would have fought tooth and nail because it is the only known source of copper, aside from like the capital of Brazil. And that would have been too tough to take, but like a new settlement is relatively easy to at least destroy, as you saw with this barbarian settlement that we destroyed here and built over. Okay, let's build another mine on this side. Well, since we can assume that Elizabeth is Victoria is ahead of us on tech, she doesn't have obsidian. She does have lead, so eventually she'll be dangerous, but as far as I can tell, I want her because I want that marble too. That'll be a good resource for building wonders. Like, we want to rush the Oracle, and we want to rush building the pyramid and the Sphinx in the same place, so we can fire A golden age and B a free tech. Right now we are all about the tech. So we've got an axeman going to eventually sit on our copper here. That will be vital. I'm tempted to make this a military base too, because it's also a coastal city. At the same time, I really don't want to, but it's got access to bamboo. And if you have bamboo gathering and the tannery, you can unlock bamboo armor, which gives you very good bonuses against archery units, which is great when you want to, assault cities, because archers are typically the defending unit to beat. They're the ones that you will have the hardest time killing, and you'll be spending a fair amount of your shock troops trying to kill them. It's just the fact of life. They're good at it. They get bonuses to protect cities, and then they get they have access to upgrades to make them better at it, which is why you see me have archers in my cities as the main defender. Good, horseman. This still fires when you build your first wall. Kind of treats it as like I wonder when you build your first wall. I've yet to understand why. Now this, I'm still used to the eternity setting, so like getting my military units out this fast is impressive. So we want to kill ambushers, so we need pursuit. We also need to, you know, we need more strength. Like, you know, the cavalry is strong enough as is. Oh crap! This is a strong unit. Okay, this isn't going to the border defense. This has an astronomical sign, and I won't be cheesy about it. I won't disseminate that throughout my army, because if I had like, I'm gonna give you an example. Don't follow it, please don't. Basically the thing is you can split that up in each one of the units instead of the one. We'll have that astrological sign that gives +1 base strength, which is bloody good. So good. It's particularly broken. Thunderbird is looking into it. Like, he's got a lot of work to do, so of course it's gonna take him some time, but it's something unfortunately he's gonna need to take a look into, because that can be abused, and I know it's not intended to be easily abused. So I'll show you next turn. If it's, like, I'm pretty sure it was something that I pointed out before on the forums. That being said, you know, if you wanna, you know, cheat the system, and you could argue that since it's in there, you can abuse it, but it was an unintended side effect. It is definitely not working as designed. So try not to abuse it. So, like, if we had like another astronomical sign, I'd show you, but this one lucked out. It does not. So we are going to put this near the Victoria's border, because we need to make sure those ambushers don't get in. Why is there an ambusher here? Yeah, well, whatever. Let's just put them up here then. Protect from anything that comes that way. Again, it's a valuable area. It has our copper. We need to protect that. Definitely as we get into copper working. Yeah. Oh, I was going to show you the horse thing. Stretch. So yes, okay, Xeris and Uterai are growing like weeds. That is fantastic. Makes us wealthier. It does increase crime, so I will actually have to consider building those anti-crime units. So you can merge units, but you can also split them. So as you see, like originally this was only on the one unit, and it was inherited by the mega unit. So if you split them into 3, they all now have it. So in theory, you could disseminate, like, you could merge this into another unit that doesn't have the astrological sign, and then merge them all into 3, and then they would all have it themselves, which is, forgive my language, broken as fuck. So it's something that's going to be looked into. But not this hunter. But something like that definitely is no good as a border control. I wanna nourish that horseman. Eventually the horse line upgrades into decent, like, military units. I'm pretty sure there are very few dead-end lines, so we should definitely take that into account. He's got some good base stats, 1 extra strength. So to put that in perspective, there are very few units that have a dead end. Like, I can't think of any offhand, but I suspect that the modders, like Hydro, Mancer, oh god, Joseph, a bunch of the people who work on this need to get down to H, Horseman. So you'll upgrade into the mounted infantry, and then into the knight, and then the cuirassier, into any one of these 3. Let's choose the dragoon, then into cavalry, and into trench cavalry, and then you got armored car and the auto gyro. So you can either go essentially into like jeeps and amphibious APCs, or you can put it to quite literally air cavalry. So you can move them into attack helicopters, and I believe this is actually pretty good. Yeah, so you get pretty far ahead here. So he will be useful for a very long time, so long as we keep him alive. That being said, I forgot to set the timer, I believe. I don't think I set it to go. No, it's going. I am just forgetful. Oh, something died. What died? Hopefully nothing too important. Oh, my ambusher died. Or something died. I'll take a look. Because I need to keep an eye. I might need to put like a horseman up in this area, because Brazil is strong. So we need to keep an eye on her. Hematite ore. Yeah, this is still good for quite a while. And now we can get the obsidian quarry, because we are now actually getting obsidian, which is fantastic. Let's get the science and the education. It's crime like here. Crime. It's not doing too bad, but we should definitely hit it with a hammer. Yeah, we should build trails now. Build that. Actually, no, there are a couple other things here. Those 2. That should destroy crime quite well. And with crime gone, probably can't get the growth. And then we'll probably work on food. Okay, so we have another thing to lay down some poultry, but let's get the myth of the birds up now. We can build quarries, so we should probably improve all the places. It's going to take 21 turns, but we can build it faster. And Udarai is an important city at the moment. Land sentry, so it doesn't trigger on maybe a potential sea animal spawn. I couldn't do anything about it. We will eventually have to worry about building a navy. Do we have crab somewhere hooked up? No, we don't. Let's get crabby. So we take that. Isn't hooked up yet, so maybe we should just get a worker to build a road down there. Wow, this turn's taking a while. Oh, we got a tech. That's right.
The brightest crowns that are worn in heaven have been tried and smelted and polished and glorified through the furnace of tribulation.
So yeah, as you see, we're going to be able to build a copper mine, which unlocks this copper smelter, which will, once we get metal casting, allow us to build metal wares, which unlocks a whole slew of units. But right now, see, you need copper wares to build spearmen. Same with a lot of other units. And I believe it increases build speed. So yeah, we will build faster, our military units faster, because we will hopefully also get iron. Science is good. Also, another source of poison is also a good thing. So it means like if we somehow lose our other sources, we have backup. Redundancy is good. Okay, so we were talking about building a road to down here. It is unlikely a wild animal will kill it. Famous last words. So we got those resources hooked up. Can we actually start chopping things down? No, we don't get anything yet. Yeah, we don't receive anything. And when do we start receiving? Probably bronze work, and we actually start receiving hammers from cutting down forests. So unless, you know, you really need to, I would highly advise not cutting down your forest just yet. It's not worth it. Yeah. So we got most of the things hooked up here. We got a horseman to come and protect. We should probably build the anti-crime units for these two cities. Because they're both size 6, so they'll be most likely starting to get affected by crime. Same with Ryuga. Because also crime disseminates, it's not just in this city, it leaks. So high crime here will slowly leak this way, also vice versa, so it reinforces itself, if I remember correctly. Or at least that's how it was designed. Oh yeah, we did build the bird thing. Do we more feathers? No, let's get some more poultry. Let's get more growth. Growth is good. So yeah, let's build up those 4 town watchmen's. Here we go. I usually do use filters, but we're not at the point where my unit, like that thing is quite loaded yet. But it will be once we start getting moving and getting siege units, like a huge selection of them, among other things. So we can actually have this all connected now by road, which is good actually. Let's get up to here at least. So yeah, we shouldn't fear ambushers in this area. That being said, we should probably consider building a horseman for this area to strike down any potential threats. Again, I'm also not all too worried about units coming across that desert. Like, it's pretty big. I really doubt I won't pull off a Genghis Khan-esque move just yet. Eventually, I will have to worry. Particularly when people start like building camel units, they start with abilities to safely traverse this. They get a lot of the desert bonuses, upgrades. So they will be able to traverse the terrain without taking damage. But for now, it's a pretty good defense. There are no oases aside from here, and yeah, it's just not easy to traverse, which is good. It's like it's almost as good as a mountain barrier, but even then mountains will eventually be traversable. and eventually you will be able to found cities on mountains. There have only been a few occasions where I typically do so, because by the time that becomes available, you're not really building settlers anymore. You're typically more focused on, say, conquering, or like, maybe by that point you're worried about the New World. Yeah, the horsemen are a great border patrol. So, strength. And this will be... we'll add in 2 more turns. So yeah, we'll put the horsemen actually here. Far enough back so in case the enemy starts invading us, that he won't be struck first, but like I typically keep horsemen behind the front line units, because one, they're valuable, and they can move pretty quickly, so it's good to keep them not struck first, because they don't receive defensive bonuses based on terrain, but they usually get some decent bonuses on open field, which a lot of our terrain is. Like, a lot of our terrain, like excluding the forest area, is relatively flat. There's very few areas that are very heavy in mountain. I mean, like hills, except for like here and through this area. But you know, we need that cavalry there because he moves fast and he is good at killing silly ambushes. So yeah, let's get you over to Uttarai. Are we building 6? We need to send at least 2 over to at least Ryuga as well. My wish list is eventually you can merge town watchmen together and they fight crime just as well as 3 town watchmen, or even better, because then you're not causing unit spam nearly as much. So 1 can take care of that in replacement for, you know, the 3. So build up that fortification. We will go to the next turn. England is stronger than us. We are on par with Brazil. We've actually surpassed Brazil quite handily now, so I don't know if it was our interference that kept them bogged down for a little bit. Also, it does help that we have 9 cities, they have 5. And we also have 3 wonders, pretty decent ones by the way. So that does also help us out on the scoreboard. Ryuga is pretty far away, so yeah, I'll send you that way. Like, it's not as nearly as noticeable on smaller maps, but when you have bigger maps, you're gonna notice the unit spam more. I doubt I'm gonna move this man. I just need him to protect that copper. That being said, we need to set up the infrastructure. Does this place not have the ability to mine it? Should, here we go, yeah, the copper mine. It's gonna take this place a while. Ryuga should be able to produce it pretty quickly. So yeah, next turn do that, followed by that mine. And let's get all the growth buildings. I think it already has the cellar. Yeah, we already built the cellar here. And I know it has some decent seed resources. So build the rest of the hammer stuff. Hammer time. Stop. Hammer time. Get the science, and we will come back to this later. So no, let's get that trade route too. Okay, everyone. So yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Acularius. Likes, favorites, subscribes, leave comments. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.